Hello and welcome to BDE Travels in our Camino de Santiago. In today's episode, we leave the town of Arzua on our way to Pedrozuo. On our way there, we encountered some rain and also some obstacles. We came across many closed bars, and further down the road, we saw the first two pilgrims of the day. We walked through the beautiful fields of Galicia, and even one of the locals came to say hi. This was a very strange decoration for a bar. A statue of St. James caught my attention, and further down the road, there was a witch waiting for us at the entrance of a bar. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel as we continue here on BDE Travels in our Camino de Santiago. Well, folks, good morning. Today, Arzua to Pedrozuo. It's a nice day right now, not cold, but it's cloudy, and there's a storm coming into Spain. Storm Barbara, right?
Barbara, yeah.
So we'll see. Yesterday was raining last night, and I'm pretty sure all the roads are wet and muddy. So we'll see how it goes. So stay with us here on the Camino de Santiago. So, how's it been so far?
Trying to catch up with you.
Now you were ahead of me. I mean, on the uphill, you were ahead of me. I'm trying to catch up with you. But today is supposed to be a nice day.
Yeah. So far, so good.
We haven't touched the second town we haven't seen. It's interesting because we were on the regular route, and all of a sudden we joined the complimentary route. And you'll notice that sometimes when you have the bifurcations, you have the regular route, which is the real Camino, and the complimentary route, which is a newer one. And the complimentary route, usually it's longer. But somehow we were on the real Camino, we ended up going to the complimentary one.
Without noticing.
And then somehow we ended up in the Camino again. So, I don't know, it was kind of strange. Well, what do you think? We thought we were doing 4.5 kilometers per hour. We're only doing 3.8.
Yeah, I was proud of myself. I'm like, I'm really speeding this time. No.
But not.
No.
So we are not going that fast. We thought we were, but we're not.
Yep.
But we got to speed it up because there's rain coming.
Yes.
It's going to rain at 1 p.m.
We have to beat the storm.
in Pedrozuo. And we've covered 5 kilometers so far.
Yeah. And did you mention that we left at 9 o'clock?
9 in the morning, yep.
Yeah.
Well, the sunrise doesn't come, at least at this time of the year, it doesn't come until 8:40.
Yeah.
So it's no sense of leaving earlier than that.
And it's too dark in the morning.
Yep. All right, we're gonna keep on walking here in the Camino de Santiago. Well, folks, interesting bridge with a lot of stickers in there. Kind of fun to look at and read the messages of all the pilgrims that put their sticker in there. You were going to mention something, Amaris.
Oh, yeah. For those of you that do not speak Spanish, you go and you're going to use the faucet of the cold or the hot. We're usually accustomed to C for cold and H for hot. But in Spanish, the C is caliente, which is hot. And the F is frío, which is frigid. So just to keep that in mind.
Yeah, you don't want to freeze yourself or burn yourself because, oh, the sea, that's the cold one. No, it's the hot one.
It's the hot.
You open it up and it'll burn you.
Yeah.
That's, well, learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Well, that seems to be the norm in the new town or the new towns that you go through. Usually the pensiones or the cafeterias are closed due to the pandemic, and most of the albergues were closed.
Yeah, I didn't see anything open.
One bar cafeteria at the beginning, which is close to the big towns, but once you start leaving the big towns, that's it. Nothing's open. You'll see a lot of cows, you'll see dogs, and that's it.
And uneven roads.
And uneven roads. What do you think about that?
Getting close to us. Well, folks, we just finished talking with Don Miguel, very motivational speaker as we were walking, and he was helping another gentleman from the Handicap Society of Argentina. And see, those are the things that motivate you when you talk to people. They give you their story, and you get to see how everything works together for good. And you know, he's pushing, he's walking, and he's saying that he was very motivated to do certain stages. So yeah. And he wants to he wants to complete Camino de Santiago today. So he wants to keep going.
Wow, that's a feat.
He said that he's going to try to do as much as he can to finish it today.
Well, that's almost 40 kilometers, so that's a lot. That's a lot. And it motivates you because, you know, he had a surgery, and with the surgery has some complications and it left him a little bit handicapped. Yeah. Nevertheless, that didn't stop him.
No, and
we're complaining.
We're complaining because our feet hurt or we're tired. And some people have the motivation to, keep extending and trying to get to that final goal.
I mean, it motivates me to hear people like that, you know.
Yeah.
And it actually tells you that life keeps on going and you shouldn't stop. And like he was saying, you know, there was a point in time where we went through the depression.
Yes.
And there's a lot of people that go through depression. And he said that, you know, it's you have to keep on going and make sure that you share, you talk to other people, and there's always people there to help.
To give you support.
So all you have to do is look for that help, look for that support. So it was encouraging. I'm glad to talk with people like that because it really motivates you, especially when you look at the physical impact of the Camino de Santiago. Not just the emotional, the spiritual, but the physical. Because it is 500 miles.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. And sometimes you do 30 kilometers, 25 kilometers a day.
Yeah.
And it's not easy.
You get drained physically, emotionally, I mean, because of, you know, the ups and downs that you go through.
Yeah. It's doable, but it's not an easy feat.
Yeah.
So
He was very encouraging.
very encouraging. I'm very glad we spoke with him.
Yeah.
So keep enjoying the Camino de Santiago here on BDE Travels. You're so big. Well, folks, as you saw, well, as you can see, you gotta be very careful. There's points in time when you're walking on one side of the road and you have to switch to the other side of the road. And you have to cross the main road, and it's dangerous. So you gotta be very careful when you cross like that. Usually I'll have signs for the drivers, but you never want to risk it.
Yeah, because they're usually in curves.
Yeah,
And that, if it was a straight road, well, it wouldn't be as dangerous.
so be careful. Well, friends, as you can see, reaching Galicia, with the exception of coming down from getting into Triacastela, which you come down the mountains and the scenery changes very often. Once you get past Puerto Marin, Palas del Rey, the Camino's just like this, just a gravel road in between houses or farms, and you're going between trees and a slight forest, but it doesn't change much. Also, the historical places are a lot less. You'll find less architecture, historical architecture, I might add, than the previous towns. But the weather, at least in October, the temperatures are good. It rains a lot, so that's why people like to come between April and May. They like to cross Galicia in May, which are comparable temperatures to what you have right now. So my recommendation, May, beginning of October to cross Galicia. And if you want to be part of the festivities, once it opens up after the pandemic, then July, it's hot, and August is very hot, but at least you get to see the different celebrations in the towns, cultural celebrations. So if you want to see some of those celebrations in our video when we went by Estella, just look it up. I think it's video number 7 or 8. There were some festivities in there that you might be able to see. But this is it. Pretty much the Camino in Galicia. Sheep, cattle, corn, forest, gravel roads, and that sums it up. Well, folks, as we have been walking, apparently they're doing a celebration. It's called the Celebración de Santa Irene, which is one of the patron saints of this area. And they're shooting up fireworks with loud bangs. I thought they were shooting or something. But I just asked the local, I say, well, you know, it's somebody shooting in here? And she said, no, it's a celebration of Santa Irene. So I'm like, oh, okay, so they're just doing fireworks for that. And yes, even with the pandemic, I didn't know that they were celebrating other stuff. So interesting, very, very interesting. We're walking through another village, just around 3 kilometers off Pedrozuo. And then from Pedrozuo to Santiago de Compostela. It's close to 20 kilometers. So you can achieve it in 4.5 hours or less if you do a fast pace. So a lot of people, they stay up Pedrozuo like we're gonna do. We're gonna stay in Pedrozuo, and then the next day they continue to Santiago. Other people just push it a little bit forward, and they stay either in Lavacolla or Monte de Gozo, which is only 4 kilometers. And that way, if they stay in Monte de Gozo, then you really have to push it. It's almost 30 kilometers to get there, 30 something. Then the next morning, you wake up and you're there, you know, 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. So you're one of the first pilgrims to do the line, and that way when you get your Compostela and you go to the hotel and spend some time in the city exploring and learning a little bit more about the culture in Santiago. Santiago is a very historical city, so I do recommend spending some time there once you complete your Camino. Unless you're going to Finisterre, then you go to the hotel, enjoy the evening, and then the next morning you wake up and start walking to Finisterre. So reaching Pedrozuo today, and it's gonna rain. It hasn't rained so far, so we're enjoying that Camino de Santiago. Love it, I love it. There's Amaris. She's not waiting for me. She's all the way ahead. She's gonna cross the road without me. Hey! Here's a tip. When you get to that point where you said there was a complimentary road, the complimentary road will bring you over here. But really, right there, right behind, that's where we were. So you just go underneath the bridge and go around the church, and that's it. So it's not even worth it to take the complimentary road there. So stick to the main road. What do you think?
They just continue. Continue. They don't stop.
There you go.
Yeah. I've been doing that for a little while.
Yeah, I hope the mic actually picks up the
sound.
The sound. Because there it goes. 1, 2, 3. So during celebrations, they just shoot rockets up in the air, and that's how it sounds. But from a distance, it sounds like shots.
Yeah, we went through when it was really close by, and it's loud.
It was loud.
Yeah.
But those are the things in the Camino de Santiago. Interesting. I'm gonna give credit to whoever put that billboard in there, because they're actually marketing the albergue with classical music. and a billboard. I gotta give credit to whoever came up with that idea. That's very, very good. Things in the Camino, like I always say, every day there's something different. There's not any moment that is monotonous, and you can get to enjoy every single day. When you wake up, it's like, what adventure am I gonna get today in the Camino de Santiago? And you will receive something that day. Like they say, the Camino provides. What did you say? It provides pain. Cristo y nosotros hemos creído y conocemos que tú eres el Hijo del Dios vivo. Pum 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 pum. Well, entering the town of Pedrozuo, and interesting. Well, folks, as you're coming in from the Camino, you're gonna come up on this side. This is actually a school, and the signs will point you to go the right direction. But if you stay in Pedrozuo, this is the end of the town. You have to walk this way to town. So in a sense, I was following the arrows, but the arrow, they're gonna point you to the end of the town. So just bear that in mind that when you get to Pedrozuo, if you follow the signs, the last sign, which will be 19 and 3 something kilometers, that is on the outside of the town. You have to walk back. So when you get to that point, that you see the highway, not the highway, the main road, and it wants you to take you to the right. If you stay in Pedrozuo, you gotta make a left instead. Once you cross the school, if you stay in Pedrozuo, it's to the left to the town, to the right to continue the Camino. Just bear that in mind. And we're gonna call it quits now. We're gonna go and take some rest, and we'll see you tomorrow.
In our next episode, we only have 18 kilometers left. We continue to walk, and guess what? It was raining again. The mayor's had an umbrella, but being a gentleman, I let her keep it. We walked and walked, but there's nothing open. We walked through a dark tunnel, but then it was decision time. There I stopped to talk to the Amaris. We go to the left or we go to the right. Decisions. Who would know? Further down the road, we stopped to have breakfast. We reached Monte de Gozo, and finally, our first look at Santiago. We learned about the local folklore, we reached the cathedral, and finally we get our Compostela. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel as we continue here on BDE Travels in our Camino de Santiago.